going to be doing our practice for the 5th Vayu. We're working on VYANA VAYU. So the practice is going to be a lot more standing poses than we've done in some of the other sequences, because VYANA VAYU is about full body integration. It's about using the limbs and drawing that back into the core for stability, but creating overall movement and connection throughout the body. So we're going to start up at the top of the mat in standing. So we'll come up to the top of the mat into mountain pose. And you're going to turn your palms forward and then take an inhale to draw up through the center of the body. As you exhale, let your shoulders drop down on either side. Let your feet ground down into the mat. We're going to focus on keeping some extra awareness in the hands, specifically the fingertips, in the feet and the toes, and the crown of the head. So we'll take our inhale and draw the arms up into a sun breath. Focus is on the tips of the fingers. And as you exhale there with arms overhead, ground the feet down into the mat. Exhale, the arms come down. Inhale, rising up. And exhaling down. So now integrating that with the legs, we're going to create a little bend as we exhale. Inhale, arms come out to the sides. If it feels okay in your neck, lift your gaze up toward the fingertips. Exhale, coming down, sweeping the arms to the sides. Pushing the feet into the mat. Inhale to rise up. This time we're going to go all the way down into a forward bend. And you can start to pedal the feet back and forth, similar to what we would do normally in down dog, just bending one knee and then the other knee, letting that help just settle you into your forward bend. And then once again, bending your knees, grounding the feet down into the floor. Inhale, expand the arms out to the sides, lift up to the fingertips, maybe the gaze lifts up. And then this time, if you want to open it back into a back bend, exhale, diving forward. Knees soften, inhale, come all the way up. Either stopping at neutral or bending back. Exhale down to the mat. One more time like that. Inhale all the way up, pushing into the legs, feeling that full body experience of rising up against gravity. Exhale down. Finding your forward bend. So then from the forward bend, take your right leg, reach it back, place it down onto the mat carefully, drop the back knee, and rise up with the arms. Exhale, arms sweep back. Inhale, rise up. And exhale back. So you'll notice that my back toes are staying tucked underneath for this version. Gives me a bit more stability, and it also helps to keep some awareness in my feet, keeping the connection between my legs and the mat strong. Okay, now I'm going to lift up the back knee, shift my weight onto the front foot, and then try to come up without using your hands. If you need to, you can always touch the mat. Let's see if you can make that transition without the arms. Inhale, come up. And exhale, back down. Okay, other side. Left leg reaches back. Place it onto the mat carefully. Drop the back knee. Keep the toes tucked underneath so you have awareness of the foot. And then we're going to come up and swim back. how the legs create stability and the arms are making this good fluid movement. Come up. Okay, so now that tricky transition to come up, a little bit of a balance challenge. Back knee lifts, weight shifts forward, find your stability, and then you can always hop the foot up a couple times before you find the top of the mat. Holding down, knees soften, feet ground down into the mat. Arms lead the movement as you rise up. This time palms join together and they settle at the heart. We find samastarihi, which is the pose of complete balance, of equanimity. And we settle there, we soak that feeling in. Take your inhale to rise up. And then as the arms drop, we're going to step open on the mat into a wide stance. Take the arms out into a five-pointed star. This is one of those movements where I feel like the expansion and the activation down into the feet, out into the hands, up through the crown of the head, the drawing in through the center, it just pulls together everything that we've been working on in the Vayus. Okay, so with our standing poses, we're going to start out with warrior two. So I'm turning my left toes out, and I'm going to start to bend into that knee, keeping awareness of my center, of the muscles that connect my upper body and my lower body. And then bringing my attention down into the soles of the feet, noticing the relationship between the feet and the ground. And then taking my attention to the tips of the fingers and seeing if I can expand out farther, making more space. Okay, now drawing the front leg straight or straight-ish, and then tipping yourself over into triangle. So this is a nice spot where you might want to put a block here underneath your hand, where you can rest on your shin, but be careful that putting pressure on your shin doesn't hyperextend your front knee. This is a pose of expansion through the side body. We're trying to lengthen out from the hips in the sideways direction. Okay, now I'm going to bend my front knee and start to shift my weight in that direction. Back foot's going to hop in a little closer. I'm going to recenter myself on the mat. Okay. Shift your weight to your left foot. As the right foot comes up behind you for standing crescent moon or balancing crescent moon, this back foot is very active. I'm spreading the toes out. I'm pushing out into the sole of the foot. And then I'm going to focus on my top fingers, using that for lift and lightness. But this is such a pose of expansion. Feel that wobbling. That is your balance, your vestibular system, trying to find where it can hold you steady. What muscles have to adjust to keep you there. Okay, carefully let the back foot lower down and find your way back up into warrior two. Straighten through that knee, expand out into your five-pointed star. And then we're just going to roll the shoulders back a few times. The arms get tired when you hold them up for a while. Okay, and then we're going to switch over to the other side. So I'm just going to come back on my mat and then turn my other foot, the right foot out. Arms expand, come down into your warrior two stance. Opening up through the front of the hips here, trying to draw my right knee back. Feet feet have a very active connection with the floor, and then I'm going to think about my fingertips expanding and opening. One more breath, opening through the feet, opening through the hands. Straighten through the front leg, reaching out. So we find length up through the sides, and we just are kind of tipping the pelvis over toward the side. We find a resting point for the hand. It can be on the mat, it can be on the leg, it can be on a block. And the top arm expands and opens. You can bring your attention to your feet, especially if you have any kind of balance challenge here. If you feel like you're wobbling a lot, bring your attention to your feet and then to your core. Let your top arm drop down. Okay, let's come over into Ardha Chandrasana. I'm going to bend the front knee, hop the back foot a little bit closer so that I can get that weight shift forward. My fingers come to land on the mat, or you can use a block here as well. And then lifting up. This is a wobbly one. Okay, use the activation in your back foot. If you're spreading your toes out, pushing into a wall, opening up through the pelvis, trying to open up the hip, and then the left arm is going to find its reach. Connecting to the sense of expansion. But even in that expansion, there's still a grounding, there's still a stability through the leg, through the fingertips that are on the mat. And you drop the top arm. Back leg is going to come slowly and gracefully back down to the mat. And you come back up into Warrior Two. So pulling together all that work that you've done in the other poses, there's more opening in the hips, expansion through the arms, lifting up through the center. Draw the right foot in, find your five-pointed star, and then we're going to dive down into a forward bend. Inhale, half lift. So one of the movements, one of the positions that we use to integrate and work everything together is a twist. Brings us back into neutral. So we're going to take a twist here, opening the right arm up. My bottom hand is a little bit hard to tell, but I'm pushing that actively into the floor to work the muscles around my shoulder blade, getting a little bit of protraction in that shoulder blade. And then the top hand is reaching very strongly. But at the same time, I'm trying to maintain length back through my axis, back through my tailbone. Dropping down into center. Lifting back up, finding that neutral line in your spine, and then we'll take that twist over to the other side. Pushing down into the bottom hand, expanding up through the top arm. And then lowering back down. Okay, so from here, I'm just going to walk around to the top of the mat to reset. And I'm going to plant the hands down and take the right leg back into down dog. This is a good neutralizing, integrating pose. And then dropping the knees down to come into table, looping the shoulders onto the back. So we're going to take our knee down version of Crescent Moon, and we'll start out with the left leg coming back, lining it up with the right toes. Right hand plants underneath the shoulder, and then I'm opening the top arm, expanding up through the fingers. So now to come into the Crescent Moon version, just like we did in standing, we're going to draw the back leg up and activate the foot. of work on the outside of the hip. And this is such an important area to focus on. It doesn't get a ton of work usually. And that makes this pose a little bit more challenging. And lower your back foot slowly. Left arm comes down. And you find table, and then just give yourself a little wag from side to side, shoulders, hips. And then we'll try that the other way. Take your right leg back, line up the right arch with the left toes. Opening up, starting in a knee down side plank, kneeling Vashisthasana. And then we shift our weight slightly forward onto the knee. The back leg lifts up. Working that connection on the outside of the hip. Working your awareness into the foot. Letting the foot be active to make the leg feel lighter. Makes it easier to lift. And then bring the expansion up into your right fingertips to the top hand. One more inhale. Exhale, lower your back leg. Lower your arm. Bring your knees onto the mat. And again, just wag your shoulders and your hips from side to side. Open the knees out wide and drop back into a wide child's pose. Settling and just soaking in that work that you did. And then we'll come up into sitting. So if you like, you can sit up on a blanket, but we want to make sure that the spine is really tall so that we are ready to do our breath work. And for this one, we're going to do an alternate nostril breath. For VYANA VAYU, this is how we clear and create movement in the overall energy system in the nadis. So we'll start with the hand in Vishnu Mudra. The thumb is going to govern the right nostril. The index finger, or the ring finger, is going to govern the left nostril. Okay, so we're going to start through the left nostril, inhaling, changing sides, exhaling, inhaling through the same side, change sides, exhale, inhale. Change sides, exhale. We'll continue with that pattern, inhaling, changing to the opposite nostril, exhaling. The next time that you change over to the left nostril, you exhale through that side. That will complete the round of breath. You can let your hands drop down. Coming back to breathing through both sides of the nose and just noticing what that feels like. Open the eyes and make our way down onto the back. And then from the back, we're going to take the knees into the chest, nice and wide. Let yourself rock a few times. And the knees are loose, they just move as you sway. The feet can drop down, keeping that wide stance, opening the arms, and letting the knees rock. Knees fall to the left side of the mat. Take your right arm and reach that up overhead. Enjoying that freedom of breath that creates on the right side of the body. Draw the knees back to the middle, right arm comes up to the side. And we'll drop the knees over to the other side. Left arm comes up overhead. Breathing deeply into the left rib cage and the left lung. Arm comes down, out to the side. Knees come back into the middle. And then we're just going to take the legs up, take the arms up, reaching toward the ceiling, taking a few circles with the hands and the feet, moving fingers and toes. And then bringing the legs and the arms down. Now as you settle into shavasana, opening the body slightly wider than you normally would. The feet can be maybe just outside the edges of the mat, and the arms outside the edges of the mat. Open, and then let yourself settle there. Letting yourself rest in this space of ease in shavasana for as long as you like.